when it was a very simple time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
A simple time, a simple place. It wasn't very complicated in that way. We had a system.
Yeah.
We had an understanding. We had a very understandable feeling around these sort of things, where people understood that in order to live this life, you would have to comprehend that things were not going to be as simple as all that,
Yeah.
like things were just not going to be that simple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember when we began this whole idea, it was to achieve this. It was to achieve the plan, and that was something which I think that
So
you
it
achieved.
was when we began to feel this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Struggling there.
We really. Yeah. I definitely felt that. When I was originally working at the task.
Yeah, that was a difference in which I think I would say we both felt that. Yeah, both felt that. It was more than that though. So when we were breaking barriers, when we were doing these things, we weren't breaking new barriers, but we were breaking barriers ourselves. People around us, they knew that it had existed, but they hadn't experienced somebody they knew doing it. They hadn't experienced someone that they had a connection to doing it.
And it was only then that I realised the future could be what we wanted.
True.
We at the time we didn't think of things in simple terms. We didn't think of things as we can do this, because at that time no one had achieved that. And yes, it is true, we were not the first, and we were nowhere near the first. We weren't even in the first 100 or
nowhere near.
1,000. But
Nowhere
we
near
did
than that.
think about this before the first came along, if you know what I mean. And obviously this is not an impressive feat. I'm sure many people thought about Mount Everest before they ever climbed it. And let's be honest, when you say, the first people to climb Mount Everest, we don't know who the first person to climb Mount Everest was.
Yeah.
We just know who the first Westerner was. And even then, do we really know? Because what if you come from the West and you're not an imperialistic scumbag?
Definitely.
If you're not an imperialistic scumbag, you don't have the same reaction of let's tell the world. And also, you don't have the option to tell the world, because you're not as much of an imperialistic scumbag.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Well, I think that you really said a lot of it, and that was sort of the key point, that people we were the introduction for people. We were the new thing. We weren't like the first. If you want us to be the first, we were the first group of 4, assisted by a Sherpa, to climb Mount Everest over the course of.
That's the key thing here. That's the key thing that a lot of people fail to comprehend.
You go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so we were the first. It was over a year. Who did it without luxury upgrades, but did it in chunks. So we also did have the assistance of the helicopter, and I believe if you also, and then the final one, what was it again? Yeah, it was. Yeah, adding it to with a bag of Twixes in our bag that we never ate even one of them, because we discovered when we were on the wrist, we had a Mars bar, and we discovered we were allergic to caramel, which was all of us, which was a shock. And that was a final one, with all the people involved being allergic to caramel. Like, we thought, we can give the person who is the Sherpa, who we can give them the Mars bars, right? But turns out they're allergic to caramel as well. They ate the last of the Mars bars, and that was the final day, of course, which was having 5 Mars bars that were all eaten, because we all ate Mars bars. But we didn't really. We shouldn't have eaten them. But yeah, that I think was the key thing.
Yeah.
That's what we achieved. And we were though, and just like you said, where we had the talk about imperialism.
Yeah, definitely. That was. I mean,
Definitely. The talk where as you said there, where we were obviously able to talk about it, but that was because we were in a new world, and this new world where we focus on cancel culture and celebrity gossip and all these things. These things make it so that we have a different kind of system.
They certainly do. Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah. You're really right there. And as the third member of the team, I'm a proud believer in in the freewheeling way. We've had our
your system.
Sherpa comes to us one day, and then they say,
"Oh, the Sherpa,
it's a good story. Really good story.
You've killed me. You almost killed me
from his eyes
with your jokes, and no, it was really a special connection. We would joke along the way, and that was something which I think we're really proud of. That we were able to make people who were working with us laugh. We'd like push them into crevasses, and they'd like grab hold of the edge and like to try not fall in, and all those things would occur, and it was a lot of fun, So we worked together to sort of achieve that kind of dream of can we succeed, can we achieve, and can we actually like believe in ourselves. And
I think we can. That's
we're gonna hear from our fourth team member. People say the third wheel. Well, the fourth wheel is very important on a car, and we did have some of them. Don't let anyone tell you that that it's
unsafe, I guess would be the.
It's a dangerous system because
dangerous.
Everest is one of those things where and we'll definitely talk about this where there's definitely ways around this. There's definitely ways to achieve this sort of thing. Like if you have a dream, you can achieve that.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, it really is sort of more simple, Like you just dream and then you succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like, that really that says it all.
It's incredibly invigorating, to do this, and that's why I think we really need to campaign to keep the natural way of doing things. We can't have this system where you're told you can't go up without a license.
True.
Or at least okay, if you're gonna have a license, you have to have it so that anyone can buy it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're talking about. And you can't just make it expensive, because what's gonna happen then? So I think it's over to right now to talk about those sorts of things. Wrap it up. So I'm here, and I'm from the team. I'm someone who basically, I spent my years working with the guys, and we worked together to achieve a vision. And we did this. We did this together, and we achieved this. And over the course of a year, we trekked the mountain, and we reached the top eventually. And I mean, looking at this, there were food shipments coming up and all this stuff, and that was all accessible for us. But the thing is that they're pricing us, those guys, out of the market. Like I spent a few thousand. I spent like a few, like 10,000, like 10, 20, like a couple of around $100,000 going to the mountain. Like that's what every everyday person can achieve. But if you are an everyday person, you know, you can go to Mount Everest now. You can buy a ticket. You can go along and all that. Well, soon they want to change that. There are campaigners right now who say that they should increase the prices. And why should they do that? I mean, I remember when I was in my private school. When I was a I was attending Harvard. When I did all this, I remember looking at the building that my mother had paid for and thinking that that building is nowhere as big as the other guys, his mothers or fathers or others. And that's the thing. When their fathers or mothers or others are doing that, when they're paying for buildings that are bigger than mine, that's a sign. That was a sign to me that later on in my life, when I would see the likes of these people, they would be the only ones allowed to climb places like Mount Everest. They say things like, it's overcrowded. You know how we dealt with that? We dealt with that efficiently and without any problems. The thing about Mount Everest is that while you can take loads of photos, the signal isn't really any good. So once you start shoving people, it really gets quite efficient very quickly. I think we must have shoved maybe 10 people a day, would you say? Yeah. It really is that simple, yeah. And yeah, I mean, people will say to you, well, there's that's not a solution for everyone, because obviously we're aware that there was more overcrowding when we weren't there. We solved the problem, at least temporarily, when we were there. But we can't spend our entire lives on Mount Everest sorting out the problem for people, not can we? But that's why we're launching a training class. You can sign up today on our website, and you can sign up for a class where we'll teach you, if you're a person climbing Mount Everest, how to solve the overcrowding problem. How to be that person who solves the problem. Like there's sometimes you can have a simple solve. That's what these people are looking for. They're looking for a simple solve. And I can kind of understand where they're coming from. They're simple-minded. They think that it's as simple as an easy solve. Well, unfortunately, it's not. It's not as simple as that. It shouldn't be, at least. But the thing is, it's also not impossible. With our class, you just need to pay $100 a month for the next 3 years, and in return, we'll teach you how to solve the problem. Now, on your computer, what I want you to do is go to our website and support us, because without your support, we can't really change the future. We can't achieve the future. We can't succeed where others have failed. We want to, because we're looking at all you would-be Mount Everest climbers today, and we look at you and we think, oh, it will be so sad if you weren't able to climb because of this rotten government. It really is disgusting. One more record that they didn't mention, the guys. We had the one of the longest times at the top in the year that we climbed it. There were some people angry at us, but we solved that. Same way as the overcrowding issue.
And yeah, it's simple. And you can achieve this simply. But that's what we're here today for. Because we need to fight back against this. You know? The woke left think that it's as easy as just, not allowing inexperienced climbers. That you just increase the price so that you cover the actual cost of rubbish collection and, actually paying people a living wage and all of that, and ensuring that the majesty of it isn't destroyed. But the woke left has no idea. Because look at us. Look at our solution. Our solution allows for more people to get on the mountain. And while, yeah, it won't make as much money for the governments, it's not their mountain. It's our mountain. And that's why we do have a failsafe. We do have a plan B. We contact the American government and we tell them about our situation. They rip Mount Everest up and bring it to Texas, where they drop Mount Everest, and now that America is wanting a drill, we'll see what happens.